One night in Hong Kong, a woman arrives at an apartment where an old, blind, and feeble grandmother resided. With her was a new tenant. She was to be the grandmother's new caretaker. In Hong Kong, it's fairly common for families to have maids from Southeast Asia come in to take care of their family members. This was no different. The new maid took care of the grandmother and did her daily chores, doing the laundry, cooking, and cleaning up the house, while also taking upon the responsibilities of taking care of a senior citizen. However, there was something peculiar about the new maid. The grandmother did not like the food that the maid prepared for her. Day and night, the maid would serve her the same guragi soup, but thinking it was a Filipino dish, the grandmother did not want to offend. She ate the food that she was served. Ever since the new maid arrived, the grandmother would wake up in the middle of the night in cold sweat. Frightened, she would call out for her maid, but she would never show up. She would never show up in the dead of night. After weeks of holding off the absolutely vile food and lack of help, the grandmother finally complained to her daughter. "The new maid serves horrible soup day and night, every day," she complained at her daughter. "Worst part is, when I need her at night, she doesn't come to help, even when I yell out for her." The daughter, puzzled, comforts her mother by saying that she would stay with her that night. Nightfall. The grandmother is fast asleep, but the daughter hides in the closet, hoping to catch a glimpse of the maid. Instead, she hears the sound of the gas cooker. She comes out of hiding to see if the maid is cooking food in the middle of the night, but there's no one there. She slowly walks over to the pot, but what she sees absolutely terrifies her. From the foul stench to the dreadful color came floating human limbs. Feet, arms, eyes. The maid could not be found the day after, but the daughter claims she heard a loud flapping noise coming from outside the window right after discovering the soup. This is a popular urban legend that goes around the Filipino community in Hong Kong, as it falls in line with a common Filipino monster, the manananggal. The manananggal is part of the Aswang family of monsters, a vampire-like creature of the night. It preys on men and women, and feasts upon unborn fetuses and pregnant women. In the day, they take upon the look of a young and beautiful woman. But at night, the transformation begins. The manananggal will find a quiet and isolated field to start the transformation. Her arms will spread, and bat-like wings will take form. As her wings grow in size, her skin takes on the look of rotting flesh. But the main characteristic of the manananggal has yet to develop. Her upper torso becomes disjointed with her lower torso, literally splitting into two. Her lower torso is left behind, eerily standing on its own, while the manananggal takes flight to prey upon the innocent villagers and townspeople that live nearby. The beast uses her long, alien-like tongue to suck the blood of the fetus, leading to the birth of a stillborn. The manananggal has been reportedly sighted not just in the Philippines, but in other countries as well, such as Hong Kong. Anywhere there's a dense population of Filipinos, there's a manananggal to be found as well. But don't fret, the manananggal sightings have reduced in recent years, but you can never be too careful. And don't worry, there's still plenty of horrors left waiting to tell you the many tales of the Orient. Thank you, and I wish you a good night.